Thank you for tuning in to the Terry podcast. As always, man, I bring you the hottest, that I can find, man. I don't think there's nobody hottest. And on the line, I got my man, Marcus Devine. Y'all give a big shout out to Marcus Devine. This is a CEO, producer, writer, music director, and engineer that has a long list from Ashanti. Oh my God, just working with Genuine and all these people. And I also see Charlie Wilson, Teddy Pendergrass, Escape. How did your resume get this long? Because I'm still looking at Bobby V, Brownstone, Sean Levert, and more. I'm gonna ask you like I asked Beth, man. How y'all getting all this money?
Um, Years, bro. I've been doing this almost 35 years. You know what I mean? So, just time that one thing leads to the next. I always look like this. Any gig I'm on, it ain't for that gig, it's for the next one. So bring your best on the gig you on, and that's how you get your next one. So that's how I look at it.
Right. And also, like I said, I didn't know you were MD. You have an amazing voice. Let me say that first. I watched the
Thanks, man.
NPR
Thanks,
video,
man.
brother. You blowing. And I say this to all artists I speak to, man. I'm amazed that you're not on the radio. I'm amazed that you're not in full rotation because the heart of R&B and soul is missing. And when I hear you, I'm like, we got to do something about this. So that's why these shows, I would tell everybody, we have to put pressure on mainstream to move guys like you back into the forefront.
Wow. Thanks, man.
So shout out to you. And again, let's go to your new single. The new single is called Greatest Show.
Yes, sir.
Tell me the backstory on this record. Again, amazing record. I just watched it live. I actually was listening to it while I was on the road. But give me the backstory to that record.
It's crazy how it came about. I actually wrote the record for a female artist I was working on, and we finished her project, and that was just one of the records didn't make it. So I loved the record, so I cut it over on myself during the pandemic, and I just put an EP out on SoundCloud. So when I started working on my new project, I sent it to my publishers around like, yo, while I'm doing these interviews until I get the new music ready, hey, just get them this to play. And had no idea that it was going to take off. Stations started putting it in rotation and people started requesting it. So I had to go back into the studio and touch it up because it was the rough mix that I sent out. And so I had to go back in, touch it up, and remix it and sent it out, and now it's doing what it's doing.
Oh man, that's love. That's a great record. So I bet that artist is sitting at home today. Wish I would have took that record.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. They messed up all the way around. It wasn't even just about that record. You know how artists get in their own way sometimes.
Right. Well, you know what? That record was meant for you because listening to it, I wouldn't have known another artist that it was written for them, and I don't think at this point they could come back behind you and touch the record. So it's almost when you hear it like that artist is saying, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm not gonna touch it. Can you write me something else?" So, also, how did your relationship become with Ashanti? Who's I was actually with her on the Tom Joyner cruise. She's had an amazing career. So, how did you end up meeting her?
Well, I'm the music director for the Millennium Tour. All four of them. Well, the first three in our program for Ray J, Bobby V, Sammy, and Pleasure P on this one that's out right now on the fourth one. But yeah, so she came and was one of the headliners on the Millennium Tour, and my band played for her on the Millennium Tour. And after the tour, she was like, "Nah, y'all my band." So I've been with her for the last, I guess, 4 or 5 years now.
Oh well, she's smart. She's smart, and you know what? It's hard. I know from being out there. In the industry, it's hard to find a great MD. I tell guys all the time, there are guys out there who gig, and there's guys out there who tour. So when people will call me, "Hey, I got a band for you," I say, if it's a bunch of guys gigging, I'm not interested.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't know the difference. I know guys who gig and guys who tour. I want guys who know how to do tour shit, because they understand what I'm asking them to do. So I already know if she chose you, especially now we talked about Charlie Wilson, and I know Charlie is a perfectionist. So I know you working with Charlie. We already know that. We already know. Now, how did that come about? Because did he find you working with somebody else, or you had to submit to Charlie?
Yeah. Yeah, what happened was I did a lot of play tours back in the day, like some of the major plays that's out. I wrote a lot of the songs. It was the music director for a lot of them. And Charlie came and did a play called um, uh, I Won't Be the Other Woman. And I was the music director for that show. And when we met, now I was already a fan. I had told my mom probably about 2 months prior to him coming on that we went to a concert. And I was crying, bro, like literally tears in my eyes, like, yo, I need to work with Charlie Wilson. And I said, watch, I'm going to work with him. And 2 months later, I got the call that we needed to take a pay cut on the tour, on the play tour. And I'm like, why? I said, no, I ain't taking no pay cut. And they was like, well, we trying to bring in some artists. And I said, who is it? They said, Charlie Wilson. I said, now, how much y'all want to take?
Right.
so, so I ended up taking the pay cut so they can have money to bring,
Yeah,
Charlie in.
Wilson, right.
And,
but that's what you're taking for now, like you said. Who? I'm not giving up a dime. Who is it? Charlie Wilson. How much do you need to cut?
Yeah, how much you need? Yeah. So when he came in and he heard the band, and it was instant. Like when I say instant, and it was I helped put his band together off the tour. I took a couple of my guys and I put out there with them, and they were out there before me. It wasn't until like a couple of years later that I ended up touring with them. I went to a rehearsal, and he said, "Man, you don't want to travel with me?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah," because I didn't want to. I didn't use my relationship with him, my friendship with him, as a way to get on. We were just friends. Like we would talk on the phone. When I say every single day,
Right.
like that was my friend. And when my father passed, he called me every day to check on me. So I wasn't trying to use our friendship as, let me get on with Charlie. But when he asked me to go, I ended up touring with him for like about 4 years.
Man, that's a blessing. Shout out to Uncle Charlie Wilson, who has done a lot of things. Man, I'm still looking at your resume. You go all the way back to Sean Levert, Brownstone.
Oh, yeah.
Diedrich Haddon, gospel singer Diedrich Haddon, amazing. Destiny's Child. So you had a chance to work with Beyonce and Kelly and the original, or you called them into three?
No, it was the three. Yep, Kelly, Michelle, and Beyonce.
Oh yeah. You got a long resume, which tells me who you are to the industry. Because, like I said, I've been around the game, and when you got that type of resume, even I'm looking at El DeBarge, one of my favorite singers, Olivia.
I'm his music director right now.
Okay. I see you have Olivia on here. I met Olivia years ago in New York. That's the same Olivia that was with 50 Cent, right? Was it 50 Cent?
Yeah. That's sis. Yep.
Yeah. I was with Ron Grant in New York. I met Olivia years ago in the Sony studios. We were working
you
on something.
dropping names, bro. Ron Grant.
Oh, that's my dude, man.
Big, bro. I miss him so much, man.
Yeah, that's my dude, man. Ron gave me a lot of advice as an artist, helped me out so much as a songwriter. So, man, he's well missed. But I remember hearing her first single, man. So, again, I'm just amazed when I tell people, when I go through these resumes, these are artists that should be out here because you have the background. And again, you're stepping out as a vocalist. To me, that's on some Prince stuff. You can produce a band and then turn around and go out there and get in front of that mic. Matter of fact, people, if you're listening, if you listen to this, you should be. Go pull up his Tiny Desk performance of Greatest Show. Amazing. It is amazing. Now, how do you go about submitting that to them?
They run an ad on their page where you just fill out the paperwork. Click on it and fill out the paperwork, and as long as you meet all the requirements, they put it up. And they actually made it to the Tiny Desk page too. Like, you know what I mean? So
yes, it's amazing, well produced. So what's in the future for you, Marcus? I mean, I'm looking at you as a songwriter, producer, and an MD. Man, what does the future hold? What do you see yourself?
Well, right now I'm finishing up my project. That's my main thing. Finishing up my project. It's called I Love My Life. And that's really right now what I'm doing. And then starting on Beth's new project. I produced her project, the last one she had out, called In My Feelings. I mean, not In My Feelings, that was mine. Hers is called Get to Know Me.
Get to Know Me. Oh, so, matter of fact, yeah, and the single Ooh. So you produced the single Ooh also?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Beth. We just did an interview with Beth, an amazing artist. Man, y'all got a camp over there, man. You got Beth. Y'all got a camp, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all got a camp. That's Marcus Devine. Wow. Because I've heard
that's
project.
That's my. Oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, but that's my main focus right now, finishing up my project and then, starting on her new project. So.
All right, man. Tell people where they can reach you on Facebook. Also, give them your YouTube links and where they can go get
Well,
the single.
Facebook is Marcus Devine. Um, Marcus the Heat Miser Divine, actually. And then on Instagram, it's the Heat Misers _ new page. And that's DAHEATMIZER _ new _ page.
All right, you got that one. Give another round of applause for my man Marcus Devine, and go get the new single, which is available on all digital platforms. The greatest show. Man, it's almost
Yes,
like
sir.
I almost want to say the greatest show on earth after seeing the performance. So definitely, man. Look, we're going to be keeping in touch. I'm going to run ads on my page about this because we want to get independent artists like yourself all the exposure that we can get them, man. So thank you again for calling into the show. And once again, Marcus Devine, big round of applause, man. Thank you for calling in, sir.
Thanks for having me, bro.
All right, bro. Keep it locked.
Thanks, man.